Hey everyone, it's Hydro Pump here. Today I'm going to be going over the topping list from Gladiators of Edison 1. If you are unaware of what this tournament was, it was the online 3v3 tournament. Similar style of double elimination, how like most of the online tournaments are. But you get to play with your friends in a 3v3, and whoever wins best 2 out of 3 out of those matches gets the W and go on. There was 39 teams, so that was like 100 and almost 120 players. Took place this weekend, and looks like the winning team is We Lake Misato, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I was like, what's Misato? What's this? And I don't know if it's what they're going for, but is a drunken purple-haired hottie from Neo Genesis, who is a total mommy GF person. Okay. Best girl. Okay. Best woman. Okay. Anyways, onto the goods. So we're just gonna look over all the information here. They're gonna show off the. I'll just say the teams that topped first, and then we can look at the lists and all that stuff. So it was 18 deck lists we got here, so 6 teams, and the cutoff was this shows 8 teams here where there's just only shows the deck list. So we got Ludo Crib, and Free Agents 1. That team made, I guess, top 6. Then Kev in the House made it to top 4, or top. I think that was for 3rd. And then we got Igor's, or Gaz, and like Masato. I think that's it. So we got the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and Igor's is 5. And okay, so that's all the teams that we're gonna be going over. And then the teams I got 7th and 8th were Naira and the Sax Special. So we're just gonna scroll down here, pass all the lists real quick, and then we'll just check out what this information has. So you get to see cool information like top main deck cards. You got Dimensional Prison. It's a lot of Dimensional Prisons. So got looks like a lot of people were playing like 3 Prison, if that's the case, because Bottom's Trap Hole is the 2nd most played, and then Caius. Usually Caius is the most played card, so that's interesting. And then it goes on to like pretty much all the staples. Side deck, obviously Cyber Dragon, Dust Tornado, a lot of Dust Tornado. Usually the top 2 are like Cyber Dragon, DD Crow. DD Crow's 3rd, and then Rug, Lightmere, and then yeah, this gets pretty hateful after that. And we got the deck representation. Looks like we have 23 Blackwings, 11 Diva Zombie, which is well, I guess that's just like regular zombies. So 9 Hero Beat. Now I think that's usually a lot more than normal. Usually you get like 5 per tournament, but Hero Beat's been on the rise. Vayu Turbo 8. Been seeing Vayu Turbo and Blackwings. I mean, I guess Blackwing's kind of about the same, but Vayu Turbo's been up and down here a little bit. You got 7 Hero Frog, 6 Light Sworn, 5 Diva Hero. Been seeing more Diva Hero a lot lately too. Not sure which Diva Hero variants are like. Is it like the Diva Hero Beat or like the Diva Hero like from last year with like Malicious and all that? We got 5 Frog Monarchs, 4 Glad Beasts, 3 Dragon Turbo. I was one of those Dragon Turbos. We got 3 Fairy, 3 Diva Machina Stun. Okay, 2 Machina, 2 X Saber, 2 Machina Gadgets, 2 Saber Plant, 2. Oh, okay, that's the Diva Hero Beat. Okay, so this must be regular Diva Heroes. And this is Diva Hero Beat. 2 Quick Draw Plant, 2 other Flamebell, Saber Cat, Machina Control. I'm just curious what all these are. Evil Hero, Diva Saber Cat, okay. Wolodad, Machina Gear, Flamebell Zombie, 1 Dragon, Volcanic Machina Quick Draw. Say that 3 times fast. Machina quick draw plant. So a lot of Machina plant variants here. Macro Monarch. Ooh. Chain Burn. Diva Hero Frog. Tethys Turbo. And Dark Turbo, which is like the Nolaris, I assume. Okay, so that was a lot of decks, but Blackwing's pretty much doubling any representation of any other deck, which is interesting. It's about on par with what's actually recently Blackwing's been dropping off a little bit. Like Blackwing and Vega was like half the field, if not like 40%, and like a couple months ago, and then it's just kind of dwindling down from there. So that's interesting to see. Seeing a lot more like Frog and Hero decks. Some more zombies too. Zombies is like doing really well out of nowhere. And one thing to note is I haven't seen a whole lot of Lightsworns. Like only 7 Lightsworn or 6 Lightsworn decks. So you know people are really hyping up like that Fairy Sworn deck to be like the best thing. But just not a lot of people playing it. So we'll see if it actually did well in the tournament. So when we get there. And then just the deck types. I'm not really sure how completely accurate or like because you know you got a lot of decks with a lot of different elements. So, but Jazz, really cool. He puts all this information in here. So shout out to him and whoever else works towards doing all this work here on Format Library. A lot of good stuff here. We have 48 aggro decks, 27 multiple. Okay, so I guess this must be like a mesh of aggro or different variants, so that's cool that that's there. Rather just like lumping all the decks into like one thing. 14 control, or 11 ramp. What's ramp? Maybe just like more aggro. 8 mid range, 6 combo, 2 other, and 1 stun. Yeah, stun isn't too hot in this format. It's just if you're if you're getting into the format, it's like I'm gonna play stun. Like you gotta realize stun is like mostly good when there's like one go-to top deck like you're gonna counter, or maybe a couple. As you can see here, this is like quite a wide field of different decks and different strategies you have to prepare for. So it's hard to prepare for all of them and prepare well. So that's something to take note of. All right, on to the list. I wonder if it says which teams they're on. Okay, apparently it doesn't say which team they're on here, unless I'm missing something. Anyways, we got Spoonerboy, 6th place. So this is like one of the teams that made 5th or 6th. He is on the Vayu Turbo. We're just gonna there's a lot of deck lists, so we're just gonna try to speed through them. It looks like he's on the Elf and the Raven tech with the 3 Greffers and the 1 Armageddon Knight, so he's just trying to get those big guys in the grave. Elfin just kind of accelerates that. It kind of makes your Blackwing engine a little bit better too. 2 Caius, 2 Hamster. I mean, it might be a little dicey with like all the big guys, but I feel 3 Caius with 2 Hamster would be pretty nice. Then yeah, about everything else, and we have a Tech Lila here, which is interesting. So a lot of Lightsworns. We have the 3 Lila, or the 3 Reiko, 2 Hamster, Lila, charge. And then we have Gores, no Necrogardener. And for the side, we got Aaron. He might have took this from Cam, who is teching Aaron in his Vayu deck. But maybe not. Still, Aaron's pretty cool. Nice against zombies and fairies and whatnot. And then you got 2 Royal Decree in the side, so that's pretty interesting. As you can see here, he's on a really low trap count, only 6 traps, so you can probably easily side into this. And he's side decking the Oppressions, which most of the time Vayu is known to main deck them, so that's rather interesting. Yeah, so good job to Spoonerboy and Sparky Flary. On the Dark Dragon Turbo Nolaris Dragons, or you can call it. So he was the only one playing this deck. I assume that's what Dark Turbo was considered. He has the Clear Vice Dragon, which is cool. This is usually seen in Dragon Turbo, but he's playing it here. Just like another dragon summon is deals with honest and collude really well. So whereas Dark Horse can just kind of get stuck on it. 2 Nalaris, 2 Dark Creator. I feel like I think this actually came up where you need a third one in one of his like final matches. Where you literally had like 2 cards left in deck, and like I guess if you had more Dark Creator, then it would came in handy there. Not sure if you need 3 Dark Horse. Sure. I guess you just want stuff to dump with Future Fusion. I feel like maybe you can swap Dark Horse with the third, or a Dark Creator third. Not sure. I don't really play this deck too much. And then the 2 Wyvern. I guess you can just play 2 because they can be kind of bricky. 2 Elfstar Goblin, a Mirror Force, Tech Mirror Force. They won't see it coming. Yeah, and then we got the this deck can play Cold Wave pretty well because you just go Cold Wave, Phantom Chaos, probably game. You got Summon Monk to cheat out Phantom Chaos. Side deck, you got Snowmans, the Virus cards, and Royal Decree. And alright, so congrats to Sparky for topping. And Casper, so this is probably like all one team here. Again, I don't see like where their team name is, but anyways, we got the Frog Hero. Yeah, Frog Hero. Usually there's like a lot of teams like meshing this stuff together, so we have 3 Fader, 3 Caius, Dark Dust Spirit. Dark Dust is pretty nasty. Just wipes the field. We got 2 Alias. Usually they oh, he has Gemini Sparks in here too. Okay. Spicing it up a little bit. So Gemini, usually don't see Gemini Spark in this deck, but he's decided to include 2 Alias with Gemini Sparks. So I guess this just lets you play more E-calls to get to Stratos, which is nice. Get your engine online. We got the Ocean as well because it's a water and a hero, which is cool. And we had the Junk Synchron, so and 2 Rises. And Treacherous Trap Hole. I guess you don't see this in the main deck all too often, but it works because it's your only trap, so people may not see it coming. And as for the side deck, we have 3 Vanity's Fiend, 2 Book of Moon, 2 Soul Exchange, 2 System Down, so a lot of machine hate with the Cyber Dragons and System Downs. So maybe he has a lot of problems with machines and testing. Which is interesting because you have Junk Synchron to get into Catastor, so I don't know. Maybe you just felt the need to really take on machines. And 3 Twister. So I guess Twister's to normally you see frog decks like side deck Dust Tornado, but I guess he's decided to go against that because he has the Trap Hole in the main deck. And the extra deck looks pretty solid. He has the 2 Catastor, which probably comes up a good amount. So congrats to this team here for making 5th or 6th. And that was Casper's list. And we're going to get Luigi Kira. I think one of my teammates played Luigi, I think. I don't know. I can't remember. My team was in the tournament as well. And we didn't perform as high as we wanted to. I might have played this guy. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I played against a Vayu Turbo at some point. Anyways, the list. So this one's a little bit different than the last one we saw. There's no Elfin, 2 Armor, 2 Grapher. So it's more like a James Arc kind of list, minus another list, not main deck impression. So yeah, I know, like I feel like this is the oppression deck. I feel like you would want to have oppression in Vayu Turbo. That could just be me, but I feel like if you're playing Vayu Turbo, you want a main deck oppression. That's like, this makes your deck insane. Like I'd probably just go 3 Kaias, 2 Hamster, 2 oppressions. Obviously you have a lie. I guess Blackwing or Mirror Hate with a 3 Dust Tornado and 3 Prison. So yeah, maybe that's what he's gearing up for more so, but I feel like the field is diversing a little bit more, so I feel like oppression might be should maybe go back in the main deck. Anyways, enough of that. Yeah, nothing too crazy in the main deck. As for the side, he has Mind Control. It's interesting, I guess, maybe for like a Reiko deck. Cause otherwise, you don't have too many tuners to really go into for that. The 2 Deck Dev, the 3 Rug, because your Frog matchup's kind of miserable. 2 Starlight Rogue for Blackwings, most likely. Just, stop the Icarus attack. You gotta watch out when you're side decking Starlight Road, though, because if, it's nice in the early rounds, but, if a Blackwing player is watching or knows you're on Starlight Road, they're gonna take their Icarus attacks out. And these could potentially be dead then. But if they don't know about it, then it's great. So, it's gonna have to go hand in hand with that. And 2 Stardust Dragon because of 2 Starlight Road. So, wonder what he cut. Probably nothing too crazy. But anyways, that is Luigi's list, his Vayu Turbo list. This is who I played against. I played against Rizzo here. I won my match, but my 2 teammates lost their matches, I believe. This was the round that knocked us out. Anyways, he was on Diva Hero. Yeah, just regular Diva Hero, like the ones you would see like last year a lot. He's on 3 Kai's. I'm a big fan of 3 Kai's recently. Just car's crazy. He has Cyber Dragon here to just spit out Caius, and 2 Prodigy to help spit out Caius. Usually don't see Cyber Dragon in the main decks though, so it's interesting. See 1 Greffer. You have a really small dark package here with the Malicious and Plague, so I guess ideally you get Trios and you summon Greffer the next turn and ditch Malicious. That could be one way to get a little late with the Plague Spider. 3 Diva and the Gilman, 2 Snowman, and the 1 Tree 1 Frog. So a little bit dark package here, a little bit water package. Usually you see like builds go with one or the other, like Snowman's or Greffer. And E-Call, I've seen a lot of decks like this playing a higher hero count just so they can fit E-Call to get the Stratus more. It's just kind of like something you gotta do. So you added Alias here. I guess Alias is a beater you can draw. Not sure if there's any other heroes you can maybe run instead. But yeah, Alias is a beater if you have to. And he's teching a Soul Exchange here because he has the 3 Kais, Malicious, and potentially Cyber Dragon. You really have to. And 3 Wind Blasts. Not sure if builds usually play 2, but he's going with 3 here. Return because it's crazy, and yeah, that's it for the main. Yeah, Soroko's for the Blackwing matchup. Vanity's Fiend, another Soul Exchange because he's bringing in Vanity's Fiends also, and 3 Deck Dev. This deck can kind of get away with 3 Deck Dev. I don't know about 3, but at least 2. Just because Diva into Gilman is Catastrophe, which is works with Deck Dev. So yeah, pretty interesting seeing this deck play 3 in the side and 2 Dust, and yeah. So an extra deck just about standard. So congrats to Rizzo for topping here, 5th or 6th again. We're just gonna say 5th place. And we have Guari here, who is on a very interesting hero beat list. He played against Rog, my teammate, Ragnak, and he had some spicy text in here. So we have Endymion Crusader guy. He works with Gemini Spark. This is another alias you can throw out there. This guy's usually more popular in like Tengu plant format just because of the shiny is legal. So this guy's really nice, or at least better than it is in Edison. Cyber Dragon, Captain Gold for Skyscraper, 3 Alias, 2 Ocean, and 2 Honest, and then the Tech Morphine Jar. This specimen here. Yeah, so you had the set against Ragnak, and just attacked into it with something, I guess, and really turned the tides of the game I think it was game 3, yeah, so. And at least it's the Earth, so you can make Gaia. So yeah. This won him at least one game, as far as I know. And 2 snowman, so he can either bluff like a snowman or a morphing jar. They're probably gonna think it's a snowman, so I don't know. Maybe just run Sangan out there, and then they run into a morphing jar. They wasted their normal summon and whatnot. Or if you get this to live for, and he has 3D prisons to protect morphing jar, so they attack into it. You can do prison, and then they pass, and he morphing jars, and he just pops off on his turn. He's gonna probably draw into a bunch of miracle fusions and a bunch of traps. So yeah, very interesting tech. 2 e-call. I wonder if you can do 3 because I don't know. Maybe if you're playing 3, just get into 2 main monsters at that point. So Future Fusion, 3 Spark. It's 2 Hero Blast. I'd say a lot of builds on 2, so maybe 3 is just too cloggy. 1 Skill Drain, the 1 Tech Skill Drain. Usually builds are on 2 of this, but I guess the other Jar and Snowman decided to go with 1, so a 2 Road. Sometimes you see this deck go on Dark Bribe, but he's just deciding to stick with Starlight Road. I think overall Starlight Road is a little bit more consistent than Dark Bribe, just because Dark Bribe's an inherent -1. Maybe a little too turtle-y for his style. Onto the side, 3 Dyna, very nice, comboed with 3D Prison. Side decking the Heavy and MST. So usually I think they made deck MST, but he's not. 1 Super Poly. I think this came up against someone in one of his matches. I kind of caught a glimpse of it, and Super Poly resolved and wrecked someone, I think. 3 Light Mirror to kill light decks. And 2 Oppression on the side. And, you know, the X checks is kind of like whatever you want it to be. All the fusions and Super Poly targets you can ask for. So, yeah, congrats to Guari for finishing 5th with this team. Already, just kind of try to speed it up a little bit because I'm taking a while. We got Kev here on a different Frog hero deck. Well, this is actually just... Oh, yeah, I see Miracles. Okay. Yeah, Frog heroes. We have the Faders, the Kaias, the Dark Dust. He's deciding to go on with like the Malicious Edge and Evil Guy package, which is pretty nice. It's just like an extra tribute. You can go summon this guy, tribute this out, draw a card, pierce over a Raikou, which it's a nice little combo there, especially if you don't have access to Treeborn. It's like a nice substitute. You got the 1 Junk, the 1 Lad. I wonder how Lad did for him. I think Lad can be sneaky good in this deck. Like usually it's pretty terrible, but like against the right matchups, Lad could be like really nasty. So 3 Rizzo. You usually see a lot of built like Frog decks on 2, but he's going with the 3. I guess usually go with 2 just because you have a lot more other tributes. You have like 3 Malicious Edge and the Dark Dust, so and Junk. Usually they have like different normal summons, so usually they go with like 2. But he's going with 3. And 1 Econ. You know, I feel like Econ's just like kind of crazy. Just like more brain controls. Take your opponent's guy, sack it for a Monarch, get rid of the other guy. Yeah, Econ can just be kind of crazy. 1 Extermination here. Not sure, like I guess it's like an extra MST, which is interesting. So it might be good against Glads. That's like the one thing. You can hit their War Chariot potentially, snipe it, and then makes your matchup a little bit easier. You happen to hit that. And 1 Soul Exchange, 1 Treacherous Trap Hole. As for the side, Siroko's, I've been seeing a lot of people side Siroko's for like Blackwings, which is nice because, you know, Blackwings are probably going to, depending on what your deck is, they're going to be bringing in like Deck Devastation Virus, Royal Oppression, and, you know, a lot of hateful cards. And then you just summon Sirocco, you know, pump, beat over the guy. They're probably going to side out like D prisons and stuff, so yeah, it's a nice side that card against Blackwings. A lot more people are starting to do it, so it's a nice card to side. 3 Vanity's Fiend and the Soul Exchange to back it up, 3 Dust, and Mirror Force. So this is interesting. Like, you have to take the trap hole out if you put these in potentially. And 1 Burial, I guess if your frogs get banished, or you can refuel your grave for Miracle, which is interesting. And the side X to side X. So congrats to Kev for making 4th place here. Where are we at? We got Jack. Okay, we're just gonna go Jake Exo. I don't know. We have, okay, this is our first zombie deck we're going over. We have, the Diva zombie, Diva hero zombie. Okay. Yeah, so 3 Kaius, big fan of 3 Kaius. Cards just nasty. 3 Diva. Well, I don't. Yeah, I guess 3 Diva because we're on the hero package with Malicious. If you're playing Malicious, you probably want to play 3 Diva. If not, you probably want to play with 2, just because you don't want to see Diva if you're not getting Malicious. He's on the Silch's. Well, he's actually on 3 Turtle, where Silch is normally on 2, so he's a little bumped up the recruiters a little bit more. But he also is on 41 cards, so. 1 Evil Prodigy. I think Silch's only plays 1, so. And the rest of the monsters seem about normal. Going through the list. Mind Control is just kind of crazy in this deck because got a bunch of tuners you can abuse with it. And yeah, so he has 41 though, so maybe just stuff the. Well, he has another turtle and another Kaius. And I think Silch just plays like a random Dust Tornado in the main. So I think those are the only differences. For the side, he has the Skill Drains, the Dust Tornadoes. A lot of hate for like the beater decks. And yeah, other than that, the list looks pretty solid. So congrats to this guy for making the top 4. And we got Eco Robin on Christia Sworn, or Fairy Sworn. I think one of this. So this is a ramp deck. I guess it's not really considered combo, but it's like more than aggro. So anyways, which we can get like a description of that. Yeah, so this first glance, this kind of looks like Mumix's list. It might be card for card. Actually, I don't know if Mumix main deck Arceus. Anyways, he's on 1 deck main deck Arceus, 2 Celestia. I think Mumix played 3 in his list. He's on Jane, 3 Lila, 3 Reiko, 3 Hamster. I feel like maybe you want to play 3 Celestia if you're on 3 Hamster, but that might just be me. It's like really abusing that Hamster. And we're on the Shire, so you can go like charge, recharge, ditch the Shire, or you can go like charge, get Shire just for Herald if you need to. It's like a searchable fairy. And yeah, on the big monsters, JDs and Christias. And we have the Plague Spreader here. And 3 Soul and Purity Light. I hear people complain like 3 Soul might be too bricky, so maybe you can go down to 2. This card's pretty nice overall. And the Gold Sarks and Call High, Beckoning Light. I feel like Beckoning Light is like so clutch in this deck that I'm not sure if it'll work out, but I feel like even like a 3rd Beckoning Light might be like insane. Because like you can go like you can just grab whatever. You can grab JD or Christia's back and fix your hand. But maybe the deck can just function without it just fine. So, 3 Orb. Not messing around with the Black Wings or Vayus. And we got the Decrees. The Mind Control. I guess Mind Control works with this deck with Plague and Herald, so that's pretty nice. Nice you can pull that off. And we got the side deck Heavy Storm. I think this deck could potentially just side deck Cold Wave 2, but maybe that's too great. Like, ooh, man, I mean, like, just resolving a Hamster and going Cold Wave Celestia, just like, that sounds a little too dirty, like, not to play, so. Maybe I'd consider playing that. I'm not sure if you can fit it in here on the side, but it's like only one card, so I think that just might be worthwhile. I mean, you already bring in the Kree, so it might be like a little too much back row hate, but yeah, this sounds kind of dirty. Anyways, so that's the side, and the extra decks is kind of like the extra deck. So congrats to Nico Robin for making 4th here. And where we at? Okay, so that was one team here. So this is which team was this? This was Team Kev. Team Kev. Congrats to Team Kev. Now we're on the house team. This is Fraser Smith's team. So one of his teammates here is Stango, and Fraser and Stango play the same list. So we're just gonna go over the list at the same time. So yeah, this is Frog Hero. Yeah, Frog Hero. So on the 2 Battle Fader, 3 Kai's. Oh, yeah, don't have to say 3 Kai's. 1 Ocean. I don't remember if Bills don't play Ocean, but Ocean's just like a water, so it works. Okay, so we saw a list with like 2 Evil Guy and 3 Malicious Edge, but they are on 1 and 1. So it looks like they're just kind of playing like the smallest hero package they can. Just like to get the e-call, the road, like make e-call work, I guess. So that's interesting. Because like you don't want to play like insane amount of heroes, but you have to play a decent amount of heroes for Miracle Fusion. So only playing 4 heroes is I guess maybe like technically 6 heroes. But yeah, they went really late on the hero package, where you see other builds like going like a decent, like maybe like, okay, so I have 4 heroes here. Maybe other builds go like 6 or 7. I'm not sure. They just play a couple more, so I'm not sure if it's more bricky or like less consistent. But that's just something that's interesting between different builds. They are on 2 junk, where I saw previous builds just playing 1. So Junk Synchron's pretty cool with this deck, because you can bring back Swap Frog with it, and then you can swap, bounce Junk, and then you have an extra guy on the board if you really have to stall it out. I'm sure there's more tricks with Junk, but yeah, cool card. Yeah, again, they're on the 2 Ryza, but whereas other builds were on 3 that we just went over. But yeah, you already have like a lot of summons, so normal summons or special summons. And then you got the 1 E-Call, 1 Rhoda, and they got 3 enemy controller, which enemy controller, again, I was saying earlier, is like enemy controller is just kind of insane. Just, you know, you can go junk, special summon a guy, econ, synchro with your opponent's monster. You can tribute tribute their guy. You can Miracle Fusion their Treeborn away in the mirror potentially. So yeah, it's just a lot of cool tricks you can do with this card, and pretty nice. You can put Treeborn in attack, or yeah, you can change their like Treeborn, I think, to attack or something like that, and just run it over. So yeah, cool card. And they're on 1-for-1 just so they can spit out do block really quick. And 1 Soul Exchange. Usually people side deck this, but they're main deck into 1, and then on Mirror Force and 3 Roar. Usually you don't see Frog decks go so heavily on the Roars, but I guess they just want to maximize the protection with the 2 Fader, 3 Roar side. More Sirocco's. They're going really heavy on the Crows. Not sure if this is for the mirror, but yeah, you've seen a lot. We've been seeing a lot less Crows in the side decks, so it's interesting to see 3 here. But I guess it's like their form of interaction. 3 Vanity Fiend, pretty good card. 2 Book of Moon to deal with like opponents' Vanity Fiends, or I guess Fossil Dynas to some extent. Just to get the Treeborn out, it's like a quick play, so you can just like you can have nothing on the field and just be back in it with Book of Moon. So because you get to summon your Treeborn, you can tribute summon, then it's probably gonna get wrecked after that. Soul Exchange, again, just kind of deals with those like pesky Floodgate monsters. And Dust Tornado. So, and then the extra deck, it's about standard. So congrats to Fraser and Stango. Again, here's Fraser, but Brayway. Oh yeah, and check them out. They have the I Am Nerd podcast. There's this little name there. I'm Nerd podcast. They just talk about anything nerdy. So if you're a nerd, which you probably are if you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh, go check out their podcast. They have a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh content on there, and then um, they talk about pretty much everything nerdy. So yeah, again, congrats to them and their teammate, a true hero, made third place as well. He is on the 3 Kai's. Big fan. He's on the Greffer, and this is Diva Hero, just like straight up Diva Hero. He's been like the long-standing Diva Hero guy the past like year. He's been like the only one to play in tournaments, but it's been picking up again lately. So it's pretty cool that he's been sticking around with the deck and he's doing pretty well with it. So, he is on 2 Evil Guy. I guess Evil Guy like helps with Caius and gets malicious out there. Also lets you go for the Armory Arm OTK, Armory Arm Colossal OTK, maybe more if you're playing 2, so that's interesting. The 1 Tomato to cheat out Malicious or Sangan Plague. Like, Mystic Tomato, kill, get Plague or Sangan, and distribute for Caius. Sounds pretty nasty. And the 1 Treeborn Frog, that's for, Future Fusion, and it helps with Caius too, so that's kind of cool. And he's teching a 1 Econ here. And Allure. I'm not sure if this deck usually plays Allure, but he's on like I guess a little bit heavier dark package. So the 1 Econ. This is nice with Evil Guy and Treeborn, so there's like some synergy there. You can go Diva, Tribute Gilman, take like a Monarch or something like that. It helps for the OTK push, so yeah, card's pretty cool. 2 Gold Sark. He's been big on Gold Sark. Just get your like whatever. Again, Gold Sark, you're probably not gonna die in 2 turns, so if you open this, it's pretty nice. Late game, not so much, but you can get like Heavy Storm, Miracle Fusion, Dark Arm Dragon, whatever you need, whatever part you need, it's gonna get you there. And he's on Mind Control, again playing the 4 tuners, so it's pretty nice. And he's main decking 1 Deck Devastation Virus, which is pretty toxic. But in all seriousness, I guess he has Gores, Caius, a Catastor here with the Divas, so you've been seeing it. We saw a build side decking 3 earlier, so I guess it's not out of this world that he's main decking 1. It's kind of like a random blowout card that can happen. Main decking 1 Bottomless, 1 Wind Blast, so a bunch of 1-ofs here. All his traps are actually 1-ofs. Obviously the other ones are more stable, but and then Return is kind of crazy with Miracle Fusion. Yeah, kind of wild. Side deck, just about standard. You got Smashing Grounds. I guess is good thing it's Blackwings, or just like Floodgate Monsters. Smash it out of there, and yeah. And 1 Rug was pretty interesting. Doesn't have like insane amount of hate against frogs, but I guess he has like these negate summon guys, so he can bring those in. And he just has like a 1 Rug. So I guess he's a fan of the 1-ofs. And yeah, the rest of the list is about standard. So congrats to a true hero for making 3rd place with his teammates Fraser and Stango. Their team name is The House. And we're on to the finals here. So we have YGM Mr. YG Mr. BC. Why not? Probably butchered her name, but we're just gonna roll with it. And what team name was this? This was the EGOS. EGOS, yeah. Okay. We have a zombie deck, Diva zombie deck, which I'm just gonna call zombie because Diva is pretty much stable at this point. He's on 2 Kais. Is this monster? I guess this monster line is a little bit smaller than most other zombie decks, so interesting. And it's not like you see other lists playing like the heroes or the Reikos. It's just like zombie. So I'm gonna call like the Reiko builds Reiko zombies, and then this is just zombies, and then we have the hero zombies. Because like Diva's just like it's a given at this point. Yeah, so this deck he plays Gale. I guess Gale's cool. So it's just like I guess a nice thing, a tutor. Make up 7s. You can go like Turtle, spit out Goblin Zombie, summon Gale, make Black Rose pop the field. Just kind of random, but I guess helps. This is like more of like a grindy zombie deck, which is kind of surprising that there's not 3 Kaias, because I feel like Kaias is like the perfect grind card for that scenario. But I understand 2's perfectly acceptable. He is on the Ill Blood, so you can go like you can have your turtle die and then just spit out Ill Blood and you beat over like I don't know, Stratos or whatnot. So that's kind of cool to see. And Ill Blood just sticking around the field for some reason. You get a reborn guys for no reason, so that's pretty cool. And Mystic Tomato, so just like a bunch of recruiters here. And Mystic Tomato get like Sangan to Zacchaeus or Gale. So that's kind of nice. You can get like Tomato Gale if you need to kill something big. Because that's like, otherwise you can't kill big guys. You need Kai's. So I guess the Tomato makes Gale a little bit more justifiable. Yeah, but I mean the rest of this is like zombies cards. So, and we have the 1 Book of Moon, 1 Burial. I don't know. Burial is just I don't know. I just don't really like this card in the main deck of zombies. Like I don't feel like it does a whole lot. I just realized it's not on Dark Arm, but oh no, there is Dark Arm. So I guess I don't know. Burial can modulate your grave, fix the darks and whatnot. You put Mizuki Plague back, but I don't know. It might be a lot better than I'm putting stock into, but yes, the Foolish Burial and Dust Tornado, decent, and Wind Blast. Usually you don't see Wind Blast in zombie decks if it's not the hero build, because you can't like ditch Malicious off Stratos. But I guess the Wano is okay, because you can ditch Mizuki or Plague. And you just need to get your Book of Life online. So it can just be a quick way to cheat that out. Rest of this main deck's kind of staple. And yeah, side deck just looks pretty solid. Just like a lot of stuff. You got rogues for monarchs, frogs, and stuff. Yeah, so congrats to this dude for topping, making 2nd place. And okay, where are we at? Ooh, we have another Christius Horn deck. So this is the 2nd one here, which is kind of interesting because not that many. Unless I'm missing something, there's only 6 Lightsworns, and 2 of them, I guess they count this as Lightsworn. Anyways, 2 of them were in like the top 4, so or they topped at least 2. We'll see the other list. So just going through, we're seeing Arceus again, 2 Celestia. This is the exact same list we saw earlier. So it might just be like the Mumix list. We've seen Trunade here. I'm not sure if it was in the other list. 3 Orb, okay. 1 Book of Moon. I feel like one of these cards might be different from the past list we just saw. So yeah, I guess this build's just like super solid. Again, potentially consider Cold Wave because yeah, the card's kind of cracked. This deck I feel, and potentially like a 3rd Celestia, but maybe it just bricks too hard, or nothing else cuttable. That's about the only 2 changes I would maybe make with this deck. I guess you just don't need Heavy Storm main deck game 1, because you just pop off, and then they side in the hateful cards like Light Mirror, so it's like, okay, I kind of need Heavy Storm. Maybe that's a reason, like, people are bringing in Light Mirrors, so Cold Wave doesn't do anything. I could see that being a problem. So yeah, whereas Trunade Heavy Storm, like, get out. So yeah, that's probably why Cold Wave is not played. So maybe not play Cold Wave. I just saw that. So yeah, so congrats to oh yeah, Chalolin. Okay, I'm just terrible at pronouncing names, so forgive me. Anyways, congrats for making 2nd. Very good placement. back up to the top here. We got Trig, the last play for EGOS. Trig is on pure Blackwings. We haven't seen any. The biggest representation is Blackwings in this tournament. And what is this? We see. This is crazy. The biggest representation. Oh, there's another. Well, that's value. Anyways, this is okay. This is the only pure Blackwing list that topped, which is crazy. If they're considering like, oh yeah, because all the other decks are just value. So yeah, this is yeah, all the other Blackwing decks are value decks that topped. So this is out of 23 Blackwing decks, this is the only one that topped. Now, again, this was a 3v3 tournament, so it was a lot of consideration. Things to put in consideration just because like the Blackwing players could be killing it on their teams, and then their teammates are playing Ojama. I don't know, but yeah. So like, I'm not sure. It's probably a little. The details are probably a little fuzzy with the team things, because like, for all we know, this Lightsworn guy was just bricking all day, and his two teammates were carrying him, or vice versa. So, anyways, it was a tournament, and so yeah, we're just gonna roll with it. Just saying, like, don't let go like super hardcore off the numbers, but don't like ignore the numbers. So, might be a thing that Blackwing is fading out of the meta. I mean, we already been kind of seeing it a little bit in these past couple tournaments this year, whereas last year, like the second half of last year, like Blackwing was like rampant. It was just everywhere. It was a deck devastation virusing everyone. But now it's been, I guess people are just kind of finally adjusting. I mean, it's not like, okay, I'm just gonna, my little rant, I'll be over with it. But, you know, it's taken up almost a quarter of the field, and you only see one Blackwing list. So it's not like people aren't playing it and just playing other decks. Like, the deck is definitely being played, it's just not topping as much. So, anyways, onto the list. Okay. So the 18 monsters, the 18 staple monsters for a pure list. I think this is the build. I think this is the main deck I played and won with at the, what was it? Peak of the Beak 2? Exact same main deck? No, wait, no, it's a little different. I was on 3 Prison. What was he playing different? Okay, so he's playing a Mirror Force instead of a 3rd Prison, so. Other than that, same list. No main deck Oppression. It's on the 2 main deck Dust Tornado. 1 Compulse, so. Yeah, since it's my list, almost, is pretty good. No, might have to consider putting Oppression back in the main deck, because, like, you know, Miracle Fusion and just running rampant. But yeah, well, to see. As for the side, it's a little switched up here. We see a Grand Mole, which is nice against Absolute Zero, if that's what you're worried about. Good against Machina Fortress. It's just like a good like catch-all for the boss monsters, I guess, or some of them. It's nice good synchros. So I guess Compulse, Reiko decks potentially. Yeah, it's just a nice little solid tech in the side. He has Mind Control for like the Reiko decks. You play 4 tuners, so maybe, well, I guess potentially 5 with Bayu. You crack over something with Shura. He is on the deck devs. In the 3rd Prison, Limbs, Rugs, Guild Drains. So, and you know, extra deck's kind of like the extra deck with Blackwings. So, congrats to Trig for making it to the finals. Anyways, on to the winning team. Team We Like Masato, if I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah. So these guys, we're just gonna jump into this. So we got Spiral here, making it first place with Vayu Turbo. We've seen a lot of Vayu Turbo. So he's on this first glance. He's on 2 Kais, 1 Chaos Sorcerer. 1 Chaos Sorcerer with the 3 Reiko in charge. Interesting. I guess maybe a list would maybe include like a Sire Dragon or Lila to just bump the late count a little bit, but I guess it just worked fine with Chaos Sorcerer at 1. Which isn't completely outrageous either. And 1 Necroguard now. So he's on the Necroguard. Necroguard is just like, it's like low-key solid. Like just, it can be like randomly come in clutch at times. Like, and I guess it's a roto target too, which is nice. So instead of having like Greph or Armageddon like Rhoda in your opening hand, like it just makes that a little bit better. I guess it just makes your warriors a little better, I guess, because it's not so clunky. Then, and then 1 hamster. So we got the 1 Book of Moon tech. 2 prison, 2 bonds, and he's on 1 oppression in the main deck. And 1 return. So return with the Chaos Sorcerer. Pretty interesting. Just trying to pop off, it looks like. As for the side deck, we got the Vanity's Fiend, the Deck Devs, Mind Crush. Pretty good against the Lightsworn deck. Snipe the Christia or JD when they go back in the light, and they probably lose. But they have Lila and stuff, Raikou, so you have to be a little wary of that. And another oppression on the side, and then the extra deck's kind of like the extra deck. So congrats to Spiral for winning this tournament, his teammates. And we got Jimmy here with Hero Beat. Got the 2 Cyber Dragon, Hero Package, the Grand Mole. I wonder what's better, Grand Mole or Morphine Jar in this deck. Leave comments down below what you think is better, Grand Mole or Morphine Jar as your Earth target. And the 2 Snowmans. We got 3 E-Call. Or is Guari was playing 2? I think Guari was playing some other monster. I can't remember what he's playing in his list. Yeah, and then the Tech Compulse here. Pretty cool. I guess this is like nice for a dupe block. It's Compulse one of the guys, or Pulse a Spear Reaper, I guess. I'm not sure. Yeah, the rest of the main deck, he's only playing 1 road. Usually you see like the hero decks stock up on like roads or bribes, but he's just playing 1 here. So wonder how that turned out for. Oh, obviously won the tournament, so must have did pretty well. So maybe hero decks can just kind of like minimize like the amount of roads or bribes they play and just play less protection and actually real cards or more consistency. I'm not sure. As for the side, you got Soul Takers for like Dewblock or Reaper. Those cards are annoying. Big booty monsters like a Debris Dragon. Oh, he's not playing Captain Gold. I just realized he's not playing the Captain Gold, whereas Guari was playing Captain Gold. So I wonder if that was a problem at all, where it's like you just couldn't beat like an armed wing without your Skyscraper. And Transmigration Prophecy in the side deck. So more copies of DD Crow, which is interesting because like DD Crow usually is on side deck and the hero beat usually play like Soul Release or something, but he's going with the DD Crows. And yeah, the extra deck is the extra deck, so congrats to Jimmy for topping here. And we have the last list here, Burn Dig on Machina. Yeah, we're just gonna call it Machina. Machina Mill. I don't really know what the name for this deck is, to be honest. I'm just gonna call it Machina. Anyways, it's on the 2 Kaias, the 2 Cyber Dragon. I wonder how Cyber Dragon was. The machines. I wonder if there's any contradiction there. I guess Cyber Dragon is really nice against Catastor, because a lot of Diva decks are just gonna plop Catastor out there, make you suffer. Then you're like, nah, Cyber Dragon. And then you pop your Fortress down, and you probably win. So Cyber Dragon is probably pretty solid there. 2 DD Warrior Lady. DD Warrior Lady seems pretty solid, I guess. 3 Force. It's all the big machine guys, which is pretty good. 3 Book of Moon. Book of Moon is cool in this deck, just because like pop out Fortress, they go, Bottle's Trap Hole, and you Book of Moon it, and then they have to deal with it anyways, and you get the pop effect. Yeah. So let's just get in Kaiast or Raikou. and that plays pretty good. So for the split, we got 3 Pi Avarice here. Just I don't know if that's a little excessive for this deck, but I guess it worked out for him. And we got a Dust Tornado here, and I'll round out the main deck pretty much. And as for the side, we got 3 Fossil Dyna, 2 Crow, 2 System Down. This hurt for yourself too. Banish all Machine. Okay, it's just your opponent. I guess that's for like a mirror. Deal with the Pi Avarice problem. So I guess mirror hate here. Even though you already main deck into 2 Cybers, but he won. And the 3 Rug. I guess maybe your Frog matchup can be kind of rough. Despite Fortress. Maybe if you get hit with the Dark Dust Spirit, then you're probably out there. But and yeah, the extra deck, I mean, I don't know. Do you have any tuners in this deck? I guess Cyber Dragon for Chimera Tech, yeah, Brain Control, so and the Scrap Recycler, that's cool for the Fortress. Potentially recycle your gear frames. Anyways, that was all the list. I did not anticipate this taking like an hour, but maybe if I just said a little bit something for 18 lists, was that like 3 minutes per list? About, so. Anyways, if you made it this far, I appreciate you guys watching. Again, you can check all this out on the formatlibrary.com. Appreciate Jazz for running this whole thing and doing this tournament. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to watch, and congrats to everyone that topped and played. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.